Oh boy!
Why are you staring at me?
I was waiting for you to do like your warm up. Like three.
What's up, everybody? We are back for another episode of Kryptonians Who Laugh. So how's it been going?
It's going good. How about you?
I'm not in a good mood.
I can tell.
The Cowboys just lost.
Oh, not making it to the playoffs.
Yeah. Which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it's a thing. What's up, y'all? We are back for another episode of Kryptonians Who Laugh. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. How about you, audience? How are y'all doing?
Because I'm not doing good. Not in a good mood. Cowboys just lost. I just finished watching the game. Cowboys just lost. But luckily the nightmare's over. So we're not playing anymore this year. So it's over until next season. 2020 was trash.
Yeah, in every way.
The season was trash.
Yep.
I hate it here.
It's okay, man. Breathe.
But anyway.
Yes, anyway.
Today we're going to hop right into it. We're going to get right into our new series, our next series of movies we're going to do. And what do we have?
We have Friday the 13th. Yay! Yeah, so we got Friday the 13th. Fun fact, I was born on Friday the 13th.
Of course you were.
Jason's kind of like my spirit animal.
Of course you were.
Yeah, pretty dope. Something I flex on randomly to people who didn't ask.
I was born on a Tuesday. A Tuesday.
What happens on Tuesdays besides reset and Dead by Daylight?
Nothing.
Okay.
So,
Alright.
I was born on Tuesday.
Okay.
I don't know how I know that. Or was it Thursday? I think it was Tuesday. Pretty sure it was Tuesday because that was a random thing that I did. I was born on a Tuesday.
Good for you, bud.
Anyway, the original Friday the 13th.
The original Friday the 13th... The original Friday the 13th film came out in 1980.
I wasn't born yet.
That's shocking.
Wow.
Because you're old.
Wow.
But I actually had a question for you. What do you think Jason's theme is? Do you think it's ch-ch-ch-ah-ah-ah? Or do you think it's ki-ki-ki-ma-ma-ma?
I thought it was kill, kill, kill... something. I thought it was... I know it's not ch-ch-ch.
Okay.
Like everybody thinks it is. I know it's not that, but I've known that for a while.
Yeah.
I got that from like random facts years ago, but I've known that for a while. I think it's from watching a documentary on it or something. Okay.
There was a documentary where the composer explained that what he meant for it to sound like was kill, 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 ma, ma, ma.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the problem is that in the 1980s film, if you watch it, like I did, it literally is yeah, that's the sound of it. And he doesn't. It was in 2007, I want to say, is the documentary when the composer of the soundtrack for the Friday the 13th film explained that that wasn't his intention. It wasn't supposed to sound like that. So then everybody was like, "Oh, it's ki 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 ma ma ma," which to me is not nearly as edgy or creepy.
Ki 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 ma ma ma.
Yeah, that's what it is in the Friday the 13th game too. It's ki 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 ma ma ma.
Which was a, I didn't like it.
Yeah, Friday the 13th game was.
Yeah, I tried it.
I warned you about it.
Yeah.
Before you bought it, I was like, I wouldn't get that, and you were just like,
it sounds cool. It sounds like a cool concept to play in the game, but the mechanics are weird. And it's not for me.
Yeah, and the servers just shut down for it, so they've stopped support for that game, the Friday the 13th video game. I wasn't surprised. I was surprised it lasted this long, considering the license issue prevented them from having any kind of content. So, we'll get into that later, obviously, because the whole licensing issue with Jason is something that's really important to his character and why we haven't seen him on the big screen since, like, 2009, I want to say. Or 2009, I want to say, is when his latest movie came out. It's on Netflix. It's really good. It's kind of like a spiritual reboot.
Yeah, he doesn't mess around in this one.
No, he Whew.
Yeah, he does not mess around in this one. He runs.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's scary.
Yeah, it is.
That's
Jason
scary.
running.
Yeah.
But
he's
yeah, no.
fast. He has closing speed.
Yeah. The original Friday the 13th film. Same. The original Friday the 13th film. Some people don't know this. A lot do. But there are some who don't know that Jason was not the killer in that movie. He makes a weird kind of appearance at the end as like a boy, a child in the lake. Mm-hmm. But then like when we see him in the next film, he's an adult. Mm-hmm. So I think it's like, what's going on there? Did you hit the roids like over the summer or something? Just working out to get jacked before you could start things up in the second one?
Hashtag game.
Yeah. Damn it. But no, the Friday the 13th Part 1 is pretty good. It definitely was in the just like the last movie we went over, it was in the center of the golden age for horror slasher films. 1980 was right in smack dab in the middle before slasher started getting, mundane. They did a really good job with it. The acting is atrocious, but it's an 80s film. What do you expect?
Yeah.
Again, you don't watch like OG slashers for the acting. You watch them for the nostalgia. There were pretty good kills in it. There's like 2 substantially good, 3 actually that I really enjoyed.
Okay.
But we'll get into those. It starts off with some camp people gather around a fire and they're singing, playing the guitar, talking about God. Do. Yeah, they're like but
they do.
Apparently, singing about God got 2 of them really horny because 2 of them kind of like did the whole flirting with the eyes thing before they left, and just the group didn't say anything. They were like, "Oh yeah, they're just gonna go do it again," so it's whatever. I don't know. Regardless of which, it switches back and forth between like a POV camera view of someone like walking into the cabin and the 2 kids getting some post campfire song coitals, or the hanky pank, I like to call it.
Well, they're doing it.
They're doing it. Yeah,
well,
thank you.
It.
Well, they don't actually get the chance to. Like, he doesn't even get his pants down before the unknown killer, anyway, the unknown killer walks into the room. The boy stands up with his pants unbuckled, and the girl's trying to button up her shirt. And he's like, "Oh, we weren't doing anything." And it's just like, okay. I think he tried to say we were just playing around.
So they're saying it to the camera?
Yeah, like you're like a point of view of the kid looking at you like 2 inches from your face, going like, we were just playing around. And then he just gets straight up just stabbed in the stomach. Like,
so did the guy not see what was in the killer's hand?
I don't know. I don't know if he just didn't see. He might just not have been looking, or the killer just didn't whip it out yet, like him. So.
Well, he didn't whip it out either.
Exactly, like him, and she didn't whip it out yet.
He was still trying to get there.
Yeah.
Sometimes it gets fumbly. I get it. I've been there. I get it.
All right. Yeah. So he gets stabbed in the gut, like just pow. It's really quick too. He just puts on the face of and like falls over. He falls over in these like metal fencing, like chicken coop wire or something like this, bound up, and like falls up against it. I don't know why I vividly remember that, but I just vividly remember that. It's just like him falling against like chicken coop wire. A lot of fake blood there. He's like holding it. He's bleeding out of his mouth for some reason, even though he got stabbed in the stomach. Usually you bleed out of your mouth when you get stabbed in the lung because the blood fills your lungs and then you cough it out. But hey, whatever. I'm not complaining.
We didn't have to do research back in the 80s. We just did what we felt.
That's fair. And then I think the second kill is so it's so horribly done that it's lovable at the same time. Like, it's bringing tears to my eyes of the girl like screaming, running in circles around the attic, not going anywhere. Screaming some more, runs this way, screams some more, runs back that way, and just throws a box at the camera. The whole time it's point of view camera action, like you are the killer. And she's just like runs around, screams a little bit, throws a box, and then just gets like stabbed and then freeze frame.
What I imagine is the killer like standing there like
yeah, exactly. It's so good.
What are we doing?
It is so good. I love it so much. Love it so much. They're just running around. I feel like that's where the survivors get it from in Dead by Daylight. They just run towards the killer, that whole thing. Got it from Friday the
I
13th.
guess.
But yeah.
Kill's like, I don't. What are we doing?
Yeah. So she gets stabbed. And then you don't see her fall over. She's dead. But you don't see her like collapse. It freeze frames on her like this, like in mid screen.
I've always hated the freeze frame.
Oh yeah, freeze frames are horrible. They're just bad. So yeah, that's the first 2 kills in the movie.
Okay.
And then it goes, like it has like a time skip to present day. I think that happened like in the movie like 1976 maybe or 1974, maybe 78, and then a few years later it starts with like the actual present time in 1980, and we're following this this girl in a really tacky outfit with a huge backpack. Like, huge. And at first I thought when I was watching it, I thought she was on like a college campus. And I was like, this isn't Crystal Lake. I was like, what is going on here? But, you know, she wasn't. She was in this little crappy town where Crystal Lake was nearby. And she walks into, I think it was a bar. It looked like it was like 12 o'clock in the afternoon, so I don't know who would be drinking at a bar at 12 o'clock in the afternoon and why a kid walks in and nobody questions anything. But it looked like a bar. She walks in.
How about you mind your business?
Well, look, alright.
How about that?
Yeah, okay.
You're judging people.
I am judging people. You're right. I'm judging the hell out of people. She walks in and she asks about Crystal Lake. And a few of the attendees kind of look at her like she lost her mind. They're like, you don't want to go there. And she's like, but I got a job there. And they're like, well, you better quit. And she's like, no. And so then they said that Crystal Lake's cursed. And she was like, okay. And then they gave her a ride up to Crystal Lake. Before they do that, though, we meet one of my favorite characters. I love him to death, Ralph. He's basically like a drunk homeless man who rides around on a bicycle.
Okay.
Yep.
Everybody knows one.
Yep. And he tried so hard to warn them. Yes, he's crazy. Yes, he claimed that God sent him to do it. But he tried to warn them and be like, don't go there. You're going to die. Like he said when he was riding away on his bicycle, like the Wicked Witch of the West in the tornado, you know? He looked over his shoulder and was like, you're all doomed! As he was like riding away.
So is that where... Have you seen Emperor's New Groove?
Yes.
Well, the guy was like, dude...
Yeah, pretty sure that was, yeah.
That was pretty much it?
Yeah.
And I was walking away on the other side of the window and he was like, dude...
Yeah.
No, he's like, groove.
Yeah, he's going groove. Don't throw off the groove. Throw off his groove, man.
So it's kind of like that?
Yeah. Yeah, he's like, you're doomed. And, but yeah, that's a flash forward, though. The girl, you know, gets a ride by a creepy trucker guy. Who doesn't turn out to be creepy. He's just creepy for no reason to be creepy.
Okay.
But he doesn't drop her off at the lake, apparently. He just drops her off, and then she has to just hitchhike. So I'm like, okay.
I think that's how hitchhiking works. You hitchhike until you get to where you're going. So they don't take you all the way. They take you as far as they're going, and then you have to get the rest of the way. But I don't know. That
might be it. Yeah, I don't trust hitchhikers, man. Like, that's how, no. Anyway, she's fine. Nothing really happens to her yet. Dun dun. And, hold on. I gotta pull up my notes. Because at this point is when we're introduced to the body count. I mean, the cast.
Okay.
I forgot something so important. There's a fluffy good boy at the gas station before she goes into the bar. I forgot all about the puppy, man. Yeah, she's walking. They must have been on a gas station then, because she was walking towards a gas station. And between the two pumps was this little fluffy good boy, just sitting there, not doing anything.
Oh, the good boy.
Yeah, she like leaned out, started like scratching on him, playing with him. I was like, "Do you know how to get to Crystal Lake?" And she's like, "Don't speak English, huh?" And then like walked away. So I was like, okay. But, you know, it was a cute dog.
Was like, of course not, I'm a dog.
Yeah, exactly. But, anyway, yeah, Fluffy Good Boy was dope. And I loved it. There was one thing that happened during the truck ride I wanted to comment on, too, that was really awkward. So they were having this dialogue back and forth, her and the trucker, talking about, you know, what happened at Crystal Lake, and how, you know, there was a murder, or there was a drowning, and then a double murder, and then, like, the water got poisoned. Each time it tried to like reopen, like something different happened to prevent it from opening. And so he was warning her that your boss is going to end up going bankrupt, just like the last 3 owners of the camp do. And I'm like, why don't you just make a camp on a different lake? But in there, she says like, "Well, I'm not afraid of this," and then she goes like, "At least I'm not afraid of ghosts," and then continues with an awkward "ha ha" and looks out the window. 10 out of 10 lining, dude. Beautiful. But so proud of it. The trucker kind of looked at her like she was stupid, and then like did the whole like smirk like, "Ah yes, I smile now," and then yeah, it was horrible. Yeah, from there it goes into the camp owner. He's wearing booty short jeans, and he's shirtless.
Poom poom shorts.
Poom poom shorts.
They're called poom poom shorts.
Poom poom shorts.
They come to your poom poom.
Wow.
Poom poom shorts. They're little poom poom shorts.
Okay.
Poom poom shorts.
Yep. He has a weird mustache, like the 80s stash.
80s stash for the poom poom shorts.
Glasses, obviously, big round guys.
I'm about to say, are they the big?
Yeah, the big round guys.
Yeah.
He looks like a nerd. And we are introduced to him. There's 3 people driving up. Honestly, dude, throughout this entire movie, I did not know anyone's name. Like they had said it several times, and I was like, you guys are all so forgettable.
But doesn't matter though.
Yeah, exactly. There was only the final girl's named Alice. We meet her in this upcoming scene, and then one of my favorite deaths is Billy. We meet him too, and it was a dope death. But we were introduced to 3 people. Billy's one of them, and there's this racist guy. I'll get into him in a second. And then there's this chick who's basically there just to be, horny teenage girl. That's her like whole personality. And they're driving in a car up to the lake. They're also counselors, and they're going to be helping get the camp started before the kids show up or whatever. So they drive up. Their boss is chopping up a tree trunk, trying to like uproot it for some reason. So he was trying to rip up the tree trunk, even though I think you're supposed to burn tree trunks, aren't you? Like burn them. Can't remember. I remember my dad when he chopped down the old apple tree in the backyard of my grandparents' place. He chopped it down and then he burned the tree trunk so that way the roots burned up and then he could just pull it out. But this dude was like hacking at the roots, trying to like tear it up that way.
As you do in the 80s.
Yeah, like a man. Anyway, so we meet him. He's basically telling him to get to work, stop being stupid, help me out with this. They helped him out, whatever. We meet Alice. She's the next girl, becomes the final girl, and she runs up and is almost immediately hit on by the camp counselor, the camp leader, like her boss. He comments on her artwork, which is not. We only see it once that she's a good artist, and it's just like a throwaway aspect to her character because it's never brought up again, ever. Like he walks up to her with her like art sketchbook, which by the way, as somebody who used to draw, it is very rude to go through an artist's sketchbook without their permission. Extremely rude, and it usually pisses them off. So yeah, he goes through her sketchbook while she's nailing it into the gutter or whatever. I bet he wants to nail into her gutter. And she climbs down the ladder. I'm not joking. He creepily stroked her face.
As you do in the 80s.
It's not what you do in the 80s. No time period is it okay to stroke your employee's face.
Yeah.
Not okay.
Yeah.
It's not okay.
We were fast and loose with the rules back then.
I'm sure he is fast and loose. So it's the poom poom shorts do, unless you be fast and loose.
Poom poom shorts. If you wear poom poom shorts, then just know that if you see somebody wearing poom poom shorts, just know that they're gonna touch your face.
Yeah.
Just know they're gonna touch your face.
Yeah.
So get ready for some good face touching.
Yeah, he's got hold on.
Or stay away from them, one or the other.
Okay. That is very true. So, the third death kicks in here, right after the weird face, is the big backpack bitch. We see her again. Remember who I was talking about? Yeah, it's cutting back and forth.
Why I call her a bitch?
I'm not. It's just so you know who I'm talking about.
Just say the
backpack lady.
The woman, the girl. We love women on here.
Yes, I love women too.
Ahead. Go ahead.
Anyway, so she gets she's hitchhiking. She gets picked up by a Jeep, which looks exactly like the camp counselor or owner's Jeep who just left the camp. He's going back in town for some reason. I don't remember. He left, and it looks exactly like his Jeep. So it's like the movie was trying to do like a mystery killer-esque thing where you don't know who the killer is.
A red herring.
Yeah, that's a perk at Type of Daylight.
That's
anyway.
That's where I got it from.
Oh, nice. DVD plug. So she gets picked up by the Jeep, and she's talking about bringing her to Crystal Lake. It's like, you know, that POV shot of you're the driver. You don't see their hands. You just, you know, like you're like looking at her. It passes her turn. She starts freaking out, and she's like, you know, stop, like let me out. She does not wait for the car driver to stop. She literally jumps out the Jeep while it's moving. So I'm like, that's good stuff right there. Doesn't get away because she hurts herself, but the effort.
The attempt was there.
Yeah, the attempt was there. The effort.
Unlike the girl from
New Year's Evil. Yeah, in the back seat. That was more concerned about buttoning her shirt up than escaping a kidnapper.
Yeah.
Yeah. Slash murderer.
Yeah.
Or attempted murder when it comes to her. Anyway, so yeah, the Jeep slams to a halt. Chick gets out, or the character gets out, chasing after the backpack lady, who does not have her backpack anymore. I don't know if she left it in the Jeep, but it wasn't in the Jeep either, so I don't know what happened to her big backpack. You don't see it on her in the Jeep either. So they have a short little forest chase scene. She tries to hide up against a tree. Killer turns, like, basically, like, cops, like, haha, and slits her throat and then walks away. And all we see is a plaid shirt.
Did they say haha? Please
No.
tell me that. Oh.
No. Only in my mind does a killer ever hop out of nowhere and go, haha.
Damn it.
Yep.
That would have made it better.
It would have, you're right, because all it is, I mean, it does look kind of cool with, like, the effects of, like, the prosthetic that's right on top where the knife is supposed to hit, where it's, like, kind of like opening as the blood pumps out. That looked kind of cool. I didn't mind that. But other than that, it was basically just, you know, fake blood. Like, ooh. So, but I didn't mind it. It was okay. Better than the chicken wire part and the freeze frame. Definitely better than the freeze frame. So, that was the third death, was this lady. Then there's a scene where the counselors are swimming. They're in the lake, being stalked by a POV shot between the bushes or whatever, and I liked that. That was kind of cool. They're being stalked from like the opposite shore, and at one point one of them comments about it. Feels like she's being watched. I think it's Alice. I can't remember because there's like 3 different girls, and then I want to say there's like 4 guys, 2 guys, 3 guys, at least 3 guys. I can't remember. I'm telling you, dude. Like, there's so many throwaway people in this. So anyway, one of them comments that I feel like, you know, like they're like what's going on, and another girl was basically like, it's in your head, whatever, and they're just having fun, being dumb. And there's this one scene of that. The reason why I bring up the lake swimming scene at all is because there's this one scene where this guy's pretending to be drowning so that way he can make out with his girlfriend. So he's pretending to drown or whatever, and you know, a bunch of them start freaking out and running back to help him. A couple get into a boat. 2 of them jump into the water. The one girl that jumped into the water was a girl and a guy that jumped in. The girl did a beautiful like dolphin dive. It was gorgeous. You know, perfect dive.
If you're gonna do it right.
Yeah. Well, the guy made the jump motion to do a dive and just belly flopped. It was amazing. It was amazing. Like, I had to stop and run it back because I just started laughing.
Dives aren't easy to pull off.
It's not easy. But just cannonball, man. If you can't do a dive, cannonball or pencil.
It's not the time for that. Just get in the water.
But yeah, so he like spreads out and it's just face plant. So good. It was so good. I loved it. Whew, like I even like, just put like a bunch of laugh reacts on my notes on that because I just could not breathe. I had to take 5 minutes and just replaying it because I just wasn't expecting it. It's one of those things where the movie wasn't trying to be funny and it just was naturally hilarious. But anyway, so they're back. Skip forward. There's a snake in one of their cabins, and she calls for help. I think it's Alice, and she calls for help. And they have the brilliant idea of, let's get on the floor and look under the bed. Like, shove our faces under the bed where we think the snake is. And I'm like, you're going to get bit if you do that. So, just as I'm sitting there typing about how you're an idiot for shoving your head under a bed where a snake's at, they chopped the snake up. And it made me sad. Because
Who chopped the snake up?
One of the guys.
Oh.
Took a machete and, like, chopped its head off. And I'm like, you could have just let it outside.
Was it a real snake?
Yeah, pretty sure it was a real snake. It looked real because it was like slithering, and then they chopped it up and started writhing around. So
80s.
that made me sad, man. I was not prepared for the little forest puppy to get chopped up.
Fast and loose.
It's not okay. Nor is you saying fast and loose is not okay. Anyway, so they killed the snake. Made me sad. Now we get to the racist part because a cop shows up and he's on a bike.
Oh, 80s racism.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it's rough. It's a Native American racist.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. The dude has like feathers on his head. He's wearing his jersey like underwear, and he's like jumping around, like making like Native American like ritualistic screaming and like mouth beating, and that's just what he's doing for no reason. Like it's just so random.
He's happy.
It is not happy. It's not. If racism makes you happy,
he's happy.
If racism makes you happy, don't be near me. But anyway, yeah. So random racism is random. A cop shows up. The kid tries to be annoying and snarky to the cop. The cop basically tells him to shut up or I'm arresting you, and he goes, "Oh, sorry," and then stops talking. Cop leaves. I don't know why he was even there. I think I don't know why. I think the cop said like somebody called a complaint or something. I'm guessing it might have been the killer, maybe just to see if she could get them to go away. Because if y'all don't know who the killer is, I mean, you know she's female because I've been calling her she for a while now. So, but anyway, so, right. Oh, that's why. Yeah. Okay. I looked at my notes. See, that's why notes are important. So Ralph, the bicycle man, that's when he shows up and tries to warn them for a second time, the people, to leave. Yeah, but he's like sitting in like the. I'm pretty sure he's in their kitchen.
So they're not standing outside, and Ralph just drives by on his bike.
Yeah, no, and it's like a bicycle, not a motorcycle.
That's what I'm saying. Bicycle.
Yeah, no.
That's what I'm saying. I know on his bike, like, dude.
No, I wish.
Just randomly in the back,
No.
Oh, Ralph.
Yeah, no, he was in their kitchen. I think he was stealing food.
Okay.
They told him to leave. They were like, get out of here. We're going to call the cops. And he's just like, okay. And it's like, God sent me to tell you that you need to leave too, though. And they were like, what? And he's like, ooh. As he was like walking by, he stops and looks at each person and goes, like, you're doomed, you're doomed, you're doomed. And just kept going. I'm like, okay. Ralph's a homie, you know. He's a homie. But yeah, so, but they're kind of like seem to be painting him as kind of like a killer right now.
Ralph?
Yeah, because like, you know, he's like went missing, like he's kind of like vanished. And no, it's not Ralph. Ralph's a homie. And he doesn't have a Jeep either. Yeah. He has a bike.
Yeah.
So,
Ralph has a very particular set of skills.
Riding a bike and going, dude, and being drunk.
Yeah.
So the fourth death happens at 40 minutes and 7 seconds.
Okay.
Yep. I don't remember who the guy's name is, but it was in a sex scene. The two people were banging. Remember I said that when I introduced them as like Billy, I think it was, Billy, and the girl who was in the car is basically just there for like teenage sex.
Okay.
Well, she's accomplishing her goal. They're doing it, and then the camera slowly pans up, and I'm like, okay, good, I'm kind of tired of looking at this. Camera slowly pans up, and it's the racist guy in the bed, his throat slit, just staring off into the distance.
Oh, the guy's comeuppance.
Oh yeah. So he was dead. That was the fourth body. So it was okay, I guess. But it was kind of dark though. There was a dead body right above your friends having sex. So that's dark.
You gotta put him somewhere.
That's true. Anyway, so the fifth death is kind of sick. That takes place at 42:50. It was the guy who was laying in the bed waiting for his girlfriend to get back. She had to pee, so she got dressed and left, and he was laying in the bed complaining about how cold it was, which I think was signifying that a window or door was open for the killer to get in. I'm just now realizing that. I thought it was a throwaway line. Anyway, an arrow goes through his throat. Yeah, like from under the bed, she just like pushed it, and like all you see is like his throat like pushing up, like the skin. Him choking, and then it just...
I have questions at the end.
Okay. It was pretty dope kill, though. I like that. It was, like, really slow, you know? It was weird how he didn't, like, feel it poke and then, like, get up.
Yeah.
But maybe he's just used to getting poked.
Maybe.
Yeah, so he's dead. And I thought that was kind of cool. And then the sixth death is the girl. She was in the bathroom, just got out of the stall, thinking that her boyfriend was teasing her. All you see is an axe. They get raised up. She makes a poopy face and then killed off screen. Not joking. She literally makes a poopy face. So I commented saying that I'm about halfway through the movie and I still don't know any of the counselors' names. So, that's fun. And then the seventh death happens off screen. So after the poopy face, it switches over to three counselors. It was a guy who was Billy. I'm pretty sure it was him. And Alice and some chick. They're playing Strip Monopoly, which is instead of paying rent and money, you pay rent and clothing.
Okay.
Strip Monopoly. The one Alice had still not lost any of her clothing, and the guy was sitting in like his boxers. The girl was in her bra and underwear, and then the door like busts open right when Alice was about to like unbutton her shirt because he just landed on somebody's property. The door busted open. It was just the wind, and so the guy jumps up. No, he was in jeans. He just lost his shirt, so he jumps up, runs over, and slams the door closed. And then the girl who was just in bra and underwear commented like, "Oh, wait a second, my cabin's windows are open. I need to go." So they're like, "Okay." So she leaves, puts on a raincoat and leaves. You can hear she's drawn out of where she was in the cabin because she heard somebody begging for help. So she was like, "What's going on?" And then you hear her screaming. She's killed off screen, and that's the seventh death of the film.
Okay.
You see her body later. So
They do the recap of all the dead bodies.
no,
Like they don't see somebody running around. They don't do the thing with it.
no, actually.
Okay.
Well, they do have. They kind of. I guess they do have kind of something similar like that. They have the one where Alice, the body is thrown through the window, and Alice is like, "Oh." So that happens. And she opens the door on Billy's body, which I thought was dope. I think that was one of my favorites. Anyway, so it's kind of funny because Alice, and I want to say Billy, are going to go look for for the screaming, and they find the axe that was used to kill Poopy Face Girl, and it was like tucked into bed. like it was just in bed, and like the sheets pulled up over it, it was like kind of like it was taking like a nap, and I thought that was kind of funny, and it was bloody. So they were like, "Oh shit!" And then the eighth death is also off screen, and it's the camp owner, because he comes back and he's in a yellow raincoat, and he's trying to get back to his camp, and he's talking to the camera because you're in the POV shot again. He's talking to the camera, and he's asking like, "What are you doing out here? Like, what's going on?" And then he's killed. We see his body later in the chat. I guess they do that then. Okay, yeah. So they do that. But he's killed off screen. That's the eighth death. Nothing really substantial. There's just like, I think at this point there was two left. There was Alice, and I want to say his name's Billy. Yeah, Bill. The guy's name is Bill. So yeah, the ninth kill is Bill, and that was pretty dope. So Alice is alone, and she's looking for something, I want to say. I can't remember why, but she opened up the door, and Bill is just like impaled on the other side of the door by arrows. Like just stuck into the door.
Okay. So yep. She was just like going to town.
Apparently. Okay. And I mean, there was enough there that he got lifted off his feet and sent into the door. Like enough power in that.
Yeah.
Yep. And so that's how we find his body. I thought that was cool. She's being, at this point, she's being chased. And the girl that went missing, the seventh kill, that happened off screen, her body comes through the freaking window. And so Alice is like, "Oh, this is like actually happening." So she's trying to run. She still hasn't seen the killer yet. But she's trying to run. She's trying to leave. Mm-hmm. She finds Pamela Voorhees, Jason's mom, for y'all who don't know. And I commented on her mom sweater. Because I was thinking that looks so comfy. Like she hugs Pamela, and Pamela hugs her back. Pamela tells her that you need to leave, you need to go. And then, like, the switch flips And Pamela then starts muttering about how you killed my little boy, and it was because of you that he drowned. You counselors never paid attention. You're too busy basically doing the hanky pank. So like, yeah. So like it like switches back and forth, and for like once I think, and then she starts like talking in like a child voice, saying "kill her, mommy," in like a little kid's voice, and then it's like that's unsettling.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Alice starts running away again. She fights back really good, kind of pushes her Pamela off her. Finds the camp owner. He's hanging upside down from a tree.
Was it difficult for her to push Pamela off of her?
Didn't look like it.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why nobody else fought that well then, but yeah, I mean I don't know how an old lady got a full-grown man to hang upside down in the tree.
Now that we're there, and I'm glad you brought that up. Those were my questions.
Yep.
Now that we know it's not Jason, how does she pull these kills off?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know. I guess just...
Do you know how hard it is to push an arrow through a mattress, through a person?
Very hard, I imagine. I do not know because I've never done it.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah. Yeah, so... there's this one point when Pamela catches her, Alice, and she just starts slapping her. Like, she's like, crack, and then backhands, and Alice, like, falls over, like, ow. And then she, like, climbs on top of her, just beating the crap out of her. Not, like, punching, just, like, straight up, like, bitch slapping.
I like a good backhand.
Oh, yeah, it's hard backhands, too.
I like a good backhand. It's hard to pull off a good backhand. I like a good backhand.
You're right. Yeah, so Pamela does that. I commented when Alice gets away again, and I go, run, bitch, run! Because she's avoiding Pamela. Oh, jeez. Let me think. So, again, Pamela keeps saying, kill her mommy in a kid's voice, and then going, I will, Jason, I will, and then, like, you know, chases her some more. So I'm like, okay. Eventually it gets down to the dock, and Alice gets like a machete, and Pamela tries to do something. Like, tries to grab her, and then she like whirls around and whack and like cuts off Pamela's head. Good decapitation scene. Pamela like falls to her knees, is going like this, her body's going like that, at her head, and then collapses. Yep. And then sun rises. Alice is out on the lake in a canoe. The cops show up, like, hey, why are you in a canoe? Little boy Jason pops out of the water, gives her like a nice bear hug, pulls her in, and then she wakes up in a hospital bed. And I thought it was a dream, but apparently that actually happened because she comments on, what about the little boy? And they're like, what do you mean? We just pulled you out of the lake, we thought you were dead. And she was like, no, but there's a little boy that pulled me into the lake. And like, there wasn't a little boy. And she said, oh, then he must still be out there. So,
Does it freeze frame again?
No, it fades off. It has that slow fade of her face into the lake.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
A little cooler than a freeze frame. But,
everything's cooler than a freeze frame.
Yeah. Yeah, so, but, my favorite death is stuck between the arrow to the throat guy, the dude pinned to the door guy, and the Pamela beheading.
Okay.
3 good deaths. I don't know which one would be my favorite. Definitely my least favorite is the I wanted to say poopy face girl. Is that one? But that gets off my least favorite list just because the comedy of her facial expression. The the screen freeze of the girl going ah in the beginning. That was my least favorite. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So that's Friday the 13th.
Part 1. Yeah.
Was it called Part 1 or just Friday the 13th?
I think it was just called Friday the 13th. I don't think they were prepared to do a Part 2 until it blew up so well. Because Jason really became like the poster child for a slasher. Even though...
there was no Jason.
Yeah, there was no Jason in this movie. And Michael Myers came out in, I want to say, 1978. Or 76, something like that. So he came out first. But the fans just took to Jason harder. So
options.
There were options. Freddy, I think, made his debut on the big screen in 82 or 83, something like that.
Sure.
Yeah, I thought he would know. He's a big Freddy fan. But anyway, so yeah, that was Friday the 13th. It was okay acting. Wasn't for me. Like, I don't really see the appeal to it. Like, I think a lot of it is nostalgia. That's why I like it. It's just because it's a golden age slasher film. So to see where we're at now with slashers, you got to look at where we came from. I don't see how this movie caught such fire under it and got such a cult following for Friday the 13th. I mean, with the same
because there's no Jason in it.
Yeah, exactly. That's another thing. Jason doesn't show up until part 2.
Yeah.
He doesn't even have his... I don't think he has his trademark hockey mask until part 3.
What does he find at the end of 2? I guess.
Yes, I think it's like into part 3 that he has it. In part 2, he has a bag on his head.
It's like a
but
potato sack.
Yeah, potato sack. But yeah, so like I was, which I feel sad because Jason, like, come on, man. Yeah, you're a little fugly, but like, you know, own up to it, man.
We all got some.
Exactly.
But we're all a little ugly.
Yeah, like that's just he doesn't need to hide his face.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So what you commented about with Pamela, a little old lady doing all those like crazy things, I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe just adrenaline. She was crazy.
I guess.
I mean, you got that. Yeah, crazy people's strength can be surprising.
I guess.
That catch you off guard.
Well, good job.
Yeah, thank you.
Good job.
Yes.
Taking the lead on this one and running through.
I try to sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, definitely right.
Okay. Yeah, probably this is going to be our new format. We're kind of going to break things up a little bit. You said like you haven't heard this.
I'm being the audience. You're the audience for the whole show. Now I'm the audience. Yep.
So we're just going to space things out and give things more room to breathe. And
what?
Huh?
We are?
I hate it here sometimes.
Nah, no you don't. You love it. You love it here.
Here sometimes.
You love it here.
But, you know, as always, thanks for hanging out with us.
Yes, thanks for coming, audience.
Yeah, thanks for coming and to our new building. That we're still saying is a new building.
Yeah.
And definitely not my room. So, as always, like, share, subscribe, all of that.
Do they still even have the bell icon? Because when I was looking on the YouTube channel yesterday, I didn't see it. It's there?
Yeah.
Well, then ring the death bell.
Right beside the little subscribe.
Yeah. Hit both. Yeah. I mean, while you're down there, hit both.
Yeah. It's free. Who cares?
Exactly.
Plus, we're awesome. Whatever.
Yeah.
Like, what do you do? Like, if you haven't subscribed, like, we're awesome. What's the hold up?
I agree.
But, as always, everybody love everybody.
Everybody love everybody.
Everybody love everybody! Come on!
I don't have an outro cue. You have an outro cue with everybody love everybody. I don't have a catchphrase.
It's not my fault. It's not really my catchphrase.
It's his catchphrase.
It's Will Ferrell's catchphrase.
I think that honestly defines your characteristics of just everybody love everybody. Everywhere you go.
Yeah, ELE. Yeah. ELE. So we'll leave on that.
Yeah.
ELE.
ELE.